Hello beautiful people, thank you so much for tuning in, watching and listening. This is going to be a video for the next 6 months, so through the end of 2022, and it's going to be for the zodiac sign Taurus. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you for the next 6 months. Lots of time, lots of information. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. I typically post a couple of Taurus videos a month. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close. So really, this is going to be the first half of the year, last 6 months. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at the next 6 months, so through the end of 2022. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. So some advice to take into the end of 2022. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal for the next 6 months, a let go note, an angel wishes note, and the typical healing note. Let's see here, we're going to pull a summary card for this first column, which again is what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We have the card Surface. Surface is a really neat card. If you imagine like having a bubble around yourself, and this bubble kind of lets bad things bounce off of you and only absorbs good things. So it's really letting things roll off of the surface of you. So it's neat to see that happening for you, Taurus. It's a really good sign about, again, focusing on taking on those things that are good for you and kind of letting everything else just bounce off. But let's see what messages we have. Really good spread there starting off here. The first card that we have is the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is a very hard-working card. It's also a card, though, of mastering your craft and enjoying what you're working on. But this is also kind of like work smarter, not harder energy, so getting more efficient and better at whatever you're doing for work. This is also a card when I see this that like your hard work is going to be paying off. So you're going to reap the benefits of this hard work. The next card we have is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very resourceful card, and I love to see it really anywhere in the reading, but especially as it relates to money. This means that you're being resourceful with your resources, and these resources could be time, energy, money, but it's like letting that stuff that's not good for you bounce off of you and just focusing on the good. So being resourceful with your resources, love to see that. This can also be a card of fertility, so this could be pregnancy or children for you, or even grandchildren. Also a very domestic card, so this could be engagement and marriage these first 6 months of the year. Then at the bottom we have the Empress. The Empress is another really wonderful card. This is a card of creation, so the ability to create anything that you want, which makes sense because you've been so focused on the good. This is also an abundant card, which goes nicely with the Queen of Pentacles, being very resourceful with your resources, but it feels like you have an abundance of resources, which I love. This too, though, is a card of fertility, pregnancy, and good parenting, so lots of pregnancy and fertility energy there for you as well. Let's clarify this column, Taurus, though, and see what other messages I can give you. The first card we have is the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is a card of heartbreak, loss, divorce, separation. Some of you could have gone through a divorce or separation the first 6 months of the year. And there's a lot of healing that's associated with this. This also could have been a loss of a loved one, even an animal. Sorry for those of you that did have a loss this 6 months. This is really also a card of healing. So healing from that loss, that separation. But this is like a card of pulling the sword out of your own heart. So indicating some healing that's happened for you these first 6 months of this year. The next card that we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a card with lots of different meanings. This is kind of a card of gossip or drama, water cooler talk. This is people wanting to know your business, but maybe not wanting the best for you. So you could have found some gossip and drama the first 6 months of this year. This could also be a card of truth coming out, though. So you could have been finding out the truth on a lot of different things these first 6 months. Then at the bottom we have the Magician card. The Magician card is a great card. This is about turning your visions into reality. This is very inspired action. So 2 wonderful creation cards paired on top of each other, the Empress and the Magician. So I feel like we're coming off of a very abundant time where you have the ability to create what you want, Taurus. We have the Cup, the Wand, the Pentacle, the Sword, and this Infinity Abundance sign. Like the possibilities are limitless. The ability is limitless. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is general, what's going to happen in the next 6 months, so through the end of 2022. We have the card center. This is a really good reminder to stay centered, to stay balanced. But this is also an indicator of staying centered and staying balanced. So you're going to have a very balanced and centered next few months. Love to see that for you. This is about like using your intuition though, and also kind of like following your heart. So staying very in tune with yourself, staying centered with yourself, if you will, Taurus. Let's go ahead and take a look though and see what cards we have coming through here. The first card we have is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords, if you look at this card, both the horse and rider are moving very quickly here. And this is an indicator of things being fast-paced. So I do anticipate the next few months, or next really 6 months for you, Taurus, are going to be very busy, very fast-paced, lots going on. This could be like a lifestyle change or switch though. So there could be some transformation, some shake-up to your day-to-day. The next card that we have is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a card of nurturing, healing, being supported. Do continue the healing that happened earlier this year. So the first 6 months, you're going to want to continue with this healing. I love the Queen of Cups because if you look at this card, it's not actually really a cup on the card. It's actually more like a trophy. And this trophy is you, Taurus. So you want to make sure that you're supporting yourself and healing and really treasuring yourself because you are the trophy. Then at the bottom here, we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is a card of desire for long-term security. And when I see this, it's always like validation and confirmation that you're doing the right things long-term. So this is like, keep up the good work, if you will, Taurus. This is saying you're doing the right things, you're making the right moves, you're making the right decisions. You're setting yourself up for success and happiness in the future. Let's clarify these messages though and see what else I can give you here. The first card we have is the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups has lots of different meanings, so we'll run through these. This is a card of nostalgia and reflection. It makes sense. Anytime I do these like year-long or quarter-long or 6-month-long readings, it is oftentimes we see reflection card. You know, this is reflecting on the last 6 months, where we've been, what we've done, and how we want to proceed forward. So I do love that. That's important, especially when you're busy, you have lots going on with that Knight of Swords. It's important to take time to reflect. This is also a card of gifts. I'm looking ahead a little bit here. We have the Four of Cups also. So gifts being a big word. So do expect some gifts going into the next 6 months for sure. This is also a card of reunions though. So you could be getting reconnected with a family, friend, loved one. Very much so a card of reunions. And with that reunion, they likely will bring gifts. The next card that we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is an interesting card. It is a card of feeling of apathy and kind of lacking fulfillment. And I don't know that lacking fulfillment is the right word, but we did say with the Queen of Cups that some more healing needs to happen. Again, you are that trophy. You want to fill your trophy with fulfillment. You want it to be healed. You want it to be supportive. You want it to nurture yourself. So that's going to raise those feelings. Any low feelings that you may be having with the Four of Cups, the Queen of Cups will help you raise those feelings. Additionally, this fourth cup here, coming in on the side, that is also those surprise gifts. So back-to-back gift messages here for you. Then at the bottom we have the Ace of Cups. Anytime we have an Ace card, it is a card of newness. Specifically though, the Ace of Cups, this is new baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. To look for some sort of new love, new friendship, really, really good new relationship card. If you're single and hoping to enter into a relationship, this is a great card for you. If you're hoping for fertility, this is a great card for you. Again, this could be like grandparent news as well. Proposal, marriage. Ties really nicely into that long-term security. If you are into a new relationship or you're getting engaged or married, this is a good indicator of the long-term health of the relationship as well. Moving into our next column, this is going to be anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, really anything related to money. The first card that we have is the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of self-love, unconditional love, self-respect, courage. I do get the feeling that some of you need to set boundaries, Taurus. Some of you are working a little too hard right now. Maybe you're working for not enough money. But you need to make sure that there's that work-life balance, that you're respecting yourself, that you're loving yourself, and that you know what you're worth and you're getting what you're worth. This is also a card of courage. There's going to be some new opportunities coming up in the next 6 months. So do make sure you have the courage and, of course, strength to pursue those new opportunities because they're going to be really beneficial for you. The next card that we have is the Knight of Wands. I love the Knight of Wands card. This is a very free-spirited, very creative card. So the next 6 months as it relates to work is going to be quite creative for you. Income could be coming from creative channels. But this is a card of freedom, and in the money column, this is financial freedom. So love to see the financial freedom for you, Taurus. Then at the bottom here, we have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is a card of poverty, but poverty is not really what's coming through here. No financial loss, but there is money worries. And I think that's normal for a lot of us to be thinking about money, worried about money. But again, we just said with the Knight of Wands that there's this financial freedom. So you're going to be able to get away from this place of being worried about money. Let's confirm what messages we have here for you. The first card we have is the Death card. The Death card doesn't actually mean death, but it is an indicator of transformation. It's big changes, it's endings, it's time to move on. I did say that there's going to be some new opportunities for you and you need to have the strength and courage to pursue those. So be ready to go through this career and financial transformation in the next 6 months, Taurus. You'll want to go through this transformation. It's hard to see on this card, but there's like a sun on peeping through in the background there. And it's like the grass is really greener on the other side. So be ready for that. The next card that we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, challenges, obstacles. Again, I think that we have had some financial obstacles historically, and that's what we've been worried about. But again, with the Knight of Wands, this is coming through as financial freedom. So be creative and be open-minded as you look at your career and finances going into the next 6 months. Then at the bottom, we have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a card of solid, practical. This is a good reminder to be solid and practical. You'll have a lot less financial worry when you're following a good budget, when you're making solid, practical financial decisions. So try not to splurge, try not to overspend, be thoughtful in the moment of how we're spending money. I'm not saying that you are overspending, but best practice is to be solid and practical with our money here. The King of Pentacles is also a really great investment card, so I do see many of you having some really, really good investment opportunities going into the next 6 months. So now let's move on to our love column. So this is anything you think about when you think of love. So think family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, you name it, whatever you think of, Taurus, when you think of love. The first card that we have is the Justice card. Anytime you see the Justice card, Taurus, remember that this is a card that's favorable for you. So this is like cause and effect, win-win solutions, some sort of truth coming out. I feel like you have worked hard for your family and relationships, so you're going to be seeing the benefits of that. We're going to clarify this card, but this feels like winning. This feels like success. That sounds kind of weird to say about love, so hence why we're going to clarify. This is also a good card for contracts, legal matters of the court. So if you have any of that going on, this is like a card that's beneficial for you as well. The next card that we have is the Death card. We were just talking about the Death card and how this doesn't mean death, but it does indicate changes, transformation. Some of you could be moving. I don't necessarily know that we have relationships ending. I'm sure, of course, some of you will. But this is more of like an advancement of the relationship. So this is starting a family, getting married, getting engaged. This is like that transformation. For some of you, this could be transforming from single to in a relationship. This is that sun peeking through like I was talking about with the last card. But definitely some sort of next step as it relates to love and family for you. Then at the bottom here we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a very self-sufficient card and a very honest card. When I see this is a reminder that whether you're in a relationship or not, this is about taking time for you these next 6 months. Everybody needs you time regardless of your relationship or family status. With the Queen of Swords, this is also very important as it relates to communication. So this is about communicating your wants, your desires, your needs. Communication is key, is one of the main keys to a successful relationship. So do communicate. And this could be with friends, family, lovers. Communicate all around there. Let's take a look now at our clarifying cards for this column. The first card that we have is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of stress, exhaustion, having lots of burdens. If you look at this card, this person's carrying all of these wands and they're kind of like hunched over crying into them. So there's a lot going on. I feel like you've put a lot of time and energy and effort into your family and relationships and friends. So you could be feeling kind of tired, but again, this is like reaping the benefits, that Justice card, cause and effect, benefiting from it. So again, it feels weird to say that you've worked hard for love, but again, you'll be getting the benefits of it. But again, this Ten of Wands is that kind of acknowledgement of how hard you've worked. On the note of burnout, we were talking about that with the Queen of Swords, to make sure you're taking you time and make sure that you aren't burning out. The next card that we have is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries. And this ties pretty well into the communication as well. You know what you want now at this point in life, Taurus. So ask for what you want. Know when to say no, know when to say yes. Have boundaries. Boundaries are healthy for all relationships, friends, family, love. So keep that in mind. That could be part of that transition too, is setting good boundaries for yourself. At the bottom here, we have the Judgment card. Similar to the Justice card, this is another card that's favorable for you. This is clarity. This is about being on your life's path. This could be a final decision. But I feel like you have clarity now on what you want, so don't be afraid to ask for what you want or communicate how you're feeling. You have this clarity, so share it. Speak up and use your voice. And that Queen of Swords is also, again, about taking time for yourself. So don't worry about taking time for yourself. This is saying you know you need it. You have the clarity as to who you are, what you want, what you need, and don't hesitate to act on that, Taurus. Now we're going to take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide, so something to carry into the next 6 months. We have the card Time. Interestingly enough, this is kind of about taking the time and space that you need to get something done. This is also an indicator that things may take a little bit more time than you anticipated going into the next 6 months. So just be aware of that. I'm not saying things are coming to a standstill or anything of the sort, but sometimes things do take a little longer than you anticipated. So let's see, Taurus, what this fifth and final column messages holds for us. To start off, we do have these side-by-side Ten of Wands cards, so you do need to be careful about being stressed, exhausted, burned out, having too many burdens. You're going to be busy. You have a lot going on, a lot of exciting things. You've had some hard things happen earlier in the year, so just make sure you're taking the you time. That you time message is very important here. So just keep that in mind. Take the time for yourself as well. Then we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of bully, theft, violence, some sort of abusive relationship, some sort of toxic relationship. This doesn't necessarily have to be a love interest. This could be family, friend, relationship, but it does seem like there's some sort of relationship that needs to be cleaned up still, and now is the time to clean it up is what this is saying. This is really heavily weighing on this Ten of Wands too. This relationship's burning you out, so be careful here. At the bottom, we have the King of Cups. This is a very supportive card. This is very tolerant. This is very empathetic. This is you, and I do think that this could be some of this relationship as well with the Five of Swords. This feels like it could be corrected. Let's go ahead and clarify what other messages we have here. Definitely solidifying the message that this relationship needs to be corrected. We have the Seven of Swords. So in addition to that kind of toxic relationship, likely this is coming in the form of some sort of theft, betrayal, dishonesty. Makes sense why you're kind of burned out feeling that Ten of Wands. But do take the time to end the relationship or somehow correct this relationship. I don't know if I've ever said correct relationship, but that's the message that I'm getting here, Taurus. Then at the bottom here, we have the Hermit. The Hermit is a card about going within for clarity. Again, this light within the lantern being the light within you, Taurus. So going within for clarity, making sure you're on your own personal quest, on your own personal truth, having that spiritual illumination. This could very well be deciding like if you need to maintain this relationship, if this is a relationship that needs to be end. But again, somehow we need to correct or clean up whatever relationship that's not taking care of us. Again, it's the time to adjust. At the bottom here, we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is a really resourceful card. So this is a reminder to use the resources available to you. That King of Cups energy being you, that's you being supportive, you being tolerant, you being empathetic. So again, sounds weird to say to correct a relationship, but this is saying that you have the resources to correct whatever's going on here. So make sure you do so, Taurus. Now at this point in time, we're going to use the Gypsy Witch Fortune Telling deck to answer 3 yes or no questions. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them. But for question number 1, we have the 5 of Spades. This is number 6 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 2 is the Jack of Hearts. This is number 22 card. That's going to be a no. And for question number 3, we have the 4 of Clubs. This is number 4 card. That's going to be a yes. So no, no, yes for you, Taurus. I debated whether I was going to do this or not, but I did decide to do so. We're going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you for the next 6 months. Your crystal is rhodonite, which is good for closure. It really gives you balance and kind of helps you through any trauma or not so happy scenarios or experiences that you have going on. We're also going to pull a card from our Let Go deck. Since first half of the year is over, we want to make sure we're letting go of the last 6 months and really preparing ourselves for the next 6 months. Your Let Go message says, you will climb that mountain and then the next, which will bring great joy. I'm also going to pull a card from our Angel Wishes deck. So this is a message from a loved one who has passed away, Taurus. Your message is, be patient, all is well. And last but not least, we're going to end with a healing note as we typically do. Your healing note says, courage does not always roar. Sometimes courage is a quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Thank you so much, Taurus, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post those new videos. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you again, Taurus, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your 2022.